consideration of artificial intelligence in modern research.
Hello everyone, I'm Swarika and we're thrilled to continue this learning journey with you. Today we'll delve into how AI can enhance agility in organizational processes and explore its applications in predictive analysis for quantitative finance.
Our first session of the evening is titled Agility and AI. This session will focus on how AI enables agility in business processes, decision making, and project management, ensuring adaptability in a rapidly evolving technological landscape.
We are delighted to have Mr. Vineet Kumar Kansal, Business Excellence Expert and Agile Coach at TCS, as our speaker for this session. With over 20 years of professional experience, Mr. Kansal is an expert in leveraging AI to drive agility and operational excellence in organizations.
Thank you, Mr. Kansal, for joining us today. We look forward to learning from your expertise. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the great introduction. And I'm just sharing my screen, and I would like to confirm whether I'm audible also and my screen is visible.
Yes, sir,
Good.
it's visible.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I would like to first start with thanking this opportunity to all of you because we are the one which comes from you. Okay. So before even ahead, I would like to thank all of you for shaping it up. Okay. For all of you to give us this opportunity, to all of you to make us like that. Yes, we can be there to share our experience with you. So thanks a lot for this. Okay. Okay, so brief introduction of mine. Ki I'm Vineet Kumar Kansal. I have around 2 decades of experience. Okay, I'm working as an enterprise agile coach in the TCS. I have mentored around 500 associates. Along with me today, I have one more colleague with me, Amit Agarwal, in this session. So he's also going to speak along with me. And if any questions, we will be happy to answer your questions. Amit, would you like to give a brief introduction of yours? You are on mute.
Now you can
Okay,
unmute.
now I can unmute. Lovely. Thank you.
Right.
So thanking you, Vineet, and also all the participants here for giving us the chance to share our information and knowledge on this topic. As Vineet said, yes, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, as Vineet said, yes, he has been lead agile coach and also a very able practitioner in TCS. And with him, we are part of the same community, and we look forward to sharing our information and ideas with you all. Over to you, Vineet.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit. Okay, so what we are going to talk today? Okay, so we are going to talk briefly on the AI in education, how it is impacting. Okay, then we are going to talk about some of the practical aspect of AI in education perspective and how agility is going to help it out. Okay, then few of the challenges, now the future, and at the last we are going to conclude our session with the conclusions and a call to actions. So this is what we are going to talk about today. 1 hour and 20 minutes. Feel free to interrupt me wherever you have a question. Feel free to make this more interactive. Okay. Feel free to come on video also, because when we are in the AI part, when we are talking about the AI talking to all the black screens, this looks like that I am also talking to the AI, not with a real person. So feel free to come on the videos also, so that a human touch will be there and we can say, yes, we are talking to the humans So that's a request. If all you are comfortable, please be there. Okay. So with that, let's start our session and let's talk about. Initially, the first thing that we are going to talk about the introduction to the AI and agility, and AI part. I'm not going to touch more because I know from the last 3 days, over 6 sessions you have gone through, and in that you have completely gone through the AI. Yes, what is an AI? Okay, what is the history of the AI and what are AI technologies? Okay, so all of that you have already covered. You know a length and breadth of that, and I don't want to extend my session also with the same definition, with the same introductions. Okay. So basically today I'm going to talk about more on the agile part and how it is all impacting the education also. Okay. Okay. So understanding agility first. What is the definition of agility? Okay. If I ask you, any one of you, if you can write, if you can just share your thoughts that how the agility is, what do you mean by agility? Any can they share? Can they unmute? Can they do anything?
So actually, they have to raise their hand, and only in that case we can unmute them.
Okay, fine. So please raise your hand and anyone who want to talk about what is the agility. What do you mean by agility? Okay. Okay. There are a lot of definition written on that. I will not go in that particular part, but I will say agility is just a common sense, right? A common sense that how you are responding to a change. Okay. Yes. Can we unmute?
Yes,
Hello,
Jagriti, you
am I
need to.
audible,
Yes.
sir?
Hello, hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, you are audible
This
now.
is Jagriti
Yes.
Gupta from Galgotias University. So I'm just, as per my understanding, the agile is about something incremental approach towards the various kind of project and kind of social development and the project management, where the main emphasizing is on the flexibility and the collaboration, and of course the rapid delivery of the things.
Okay. Thank you.
Kind of
Thank you.
customer collaboration over the contract negotiation and lot of responding to the change over the following plans. These are kind of many principles like emphasize on the face-to-face communication. Of course, the main focus upon the collaboration and continuous improvement, learning and delivering the value to the customers, kind of adaptable and whereas like this is the agile terminology.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jagriti ji. Neeraj ji, you want to speak?
Am I audible? So this
Yes,
is
you are.
Dr. Neerja Sharma. As far as this word is concerned, the etymology of this word comes from adaptability, if I'm not wrong, or somewhere somehow it is a kind of a thing which we can easily adapt or moving quickly or easily. That's man said flexibility is one of the example of it.
Perfectly fine. Very true, Neeraj ji. So, yes, as I said, agility is just like a common sense. And when we are talking about all this flexibility, adaptability, that is simple that how we are responding to the change, right? So all of you are coming to the BPIT, right? Or your respective universities. So if there is a rain, okay, how you are going to change your plan? Because you have to reach the office or you have to reach the institute on that time. So how you are going to change that plan? How you are going to be adaptable to that? That is also an agile, right? That is an agility, that how you are bringing the agility for the changes that are coming in your way. Okay. And when we talk about this agile, there is a little meaning. Now, this has been adopted by all over the industries. Okay. Not even the software. I know software is the pioneer in that. Software with lot with that, but it has been adopted by everywhere. Necessity of the time as of now. Okay. So because why is it necessity of the time? Because every sector is changing very rapidly now. And that change is now drastically increasing over the time. And with the infusion of your Gen AI, it has been multifolded. The change has been multifolded. And if we are not responding to that change, we will be not able to cope up with the change. We will not able to move along with the change. So that's why agility is very, very necessary nowadays. That's why there are the frameworks like Scrum and Kanban. I'm not going to go in detail of that at all. This is just the name. I hope you guys are already aware of that. So there are the Scrum and the Kanban frameworks, which talks about yes, how it can be implemented. But before even going to that framework and part of that, we should understand the basics of the agile. Okay. And when we talk about the basics of the agile, it comes from the Agile Manifesto, which talks about four values and the 12 principles of the Agile. Four values, as already you talked about before. Okay, the four values of Agile are individual and interactions over process and tools, right? So, how you are going to interact with any individual. We respect process and tools also. They are the necessary part of our culture, our work culture. But the importance should be given to the individual and interaction. So it is now applicable to every industry, be it a software, be it a education, be it any industry. Until unless you are not giving a preference to the individual, you are not giving a preference to that interaction, you can never be successful. Otherwise, it will be all mechanical work that you are going to do if you are giving more preferences to the processes and the tools. Okay, that's why we always say that human touch is always required. If you don't have the human touch, then there's no point. You can't connect actually. Okay, working software or comprehensive document. Working software. Now, when we talk about working software, is software doesn't means we are saying about the IT software. It is something which you can deliver to the end user. Now that end user in your case can be your student also to whom you are delivering the lecture. Okay, this end it in our case can be a product also. It end user can be a service also. It can be anything. But when we are trying to talk about the working software, then in that case we always say that what we are delivering to the end user, are they satisfied with that? And how we are going to come to know whether they are satisfied when we are going to deliver to that. So that's why working software is more important than following up a comprehensive document. Yes, how we are going to deliver it. So how part is important. Yes, is required. But until as you're not going to deliver, you won't know that what we are delivering, what is the impact of that, and how we can improve that. So that improve that part, yes, how we can improve our services, our ability, our working software. It is very much necessary that we will keep delivering the same over the very frequent period of time. Next, we talk about customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So actually what happened whenever we are doing any work, we have a lot of contract signed up with that. But that contract signing is again necessary. But until unless we don't have the collaboration, the contract sign is always land to a trouble only. So that collaboration is very much required. How we are going to collaborate with the customer, how we are going to understand that what they require, and how we are going to fulfill that, and how we are going to work upon that so that that collaboration can be maintained. Then responding to change over following a plan. A lot of changes are coming up, and if we are making a static plan, that is not going to work. So in that case, as soon as any change comes, how we are going to respond, how we are going to accumulate that, and how we are keep responding to the plans. Okay. So that is the basic core values of the agility. On the top of that, we have 12 principles also, which I'm not going to take it right away because that will become more lengthier and more I can say one way factor only. So these are the base four values that part of your agile manifesto. Feel free to interrupt me. Feel free to add on wherever you feel is required. Okay. So before moving to our survey, I would like to ask a small activity if we can do on the Mentimeter. Let me just bring that out. Give me a minute. Okay, so now we all are working. Okay, so the basic question is that out of our working hour that we are doing as of now, okay, let me present if I can do that. Yes. Okay, so there is a survey on the Mentimeter. I hope you are now able to see my screen. Okay, so please join menti.com. Okay, the code is there, menti.com. This is the site, and you can use this code 71897611. And what we are going to respond, we are going to respond that how much overall, how much time you are spending to interacting with your student out of your total working hours. An approximate range, okay, it is less than 20%, 20 to 40%, 40 to 60%, 60 to 80%, or greater than 80%. So how much time you are spending interacting with your customer, sorry, interacting with your students.
उस पे आ जाओ आपकी वर्कशॉप पे जो आप सुन के किचन में चली जाती हो
आ जाओ वर्कशॉप पे आ जाओ, अच्छी चल रही है.
Is anyone struggling to launch Menti? या हो पा रहा है आप लोगों से? आपको ब्राउजर खोलना है, menti.com टाइप करना है, कोड पूछेगा, सबमिट करके you have to just submit the poll, right Vineet?
Yes, true. Okay, I got one response. So again, if there's any problem, I will repeat. This is the site menti.com. It is there on the top. And then as soon as you are going to open this site, it will ask for a code. So code that you need to enter is 71897611, which is again there on the screen. You can just enter this code and you will be the part of there. No need to log in, no need to do anything else. Just go to the site, use this code, and you should be able to poll here. You should be able to submit your entry. So we are waiting for your answers. Okay, got one more.
And please don't worry, all the poll is secret. आपका नाम नहीं आएगा. Don't worry.
Yes, this is all anonymous.
Anonymous.
So don't So we are not going to reveal in your university that how much you are interacting. Don't worry on that part because we also don't know. We are not recording your name. Okay.
I guess, I mean, calculation is taking more time. Faculty members are able to find it out that actually how much time they do because they have not given a thought on that particular part, looking into that administrative and other duties.
Correct. So when we are giving any kind of seminar workshop, we should give a food for thought, right? Correct. So that is one of the intention. We bring the post and we try to bring some food for thoughts for them. Yes, what we are doing and how we are doing. Okay, only 10 responses till now. I hope my gurus are kind enough to give me more support here. I can see 97 participants here. Okay, greater than 80%. Wow. I think that is our primary job actually, correct? To interact with the student. I know a lot of preparation is required for that. A lot of background work is required before that. But that is an expectation from us. Yes, we should be interacting more and more with the student. But yes, a lot of preparation is required for that. Okay, so then I will move to my content if people are good to do that. Okay. Okay. So why we have gone to this poll? Okay, the reason behind, because this is the poll which has been conducted by one of the company. Okay, and they have produced the result. Yes, how much we are interacting. Okay, so McKinsey has done this job. Okay, and what is the poll that has been come out? That is interesting one has been come out is that only 50% of our work we are actually interacting with the student, and rest of the 50% of our work is generally goes for rest of the work. It can be a preparation, it can be a feedback, it can be evaluation, it can be admin work. A lot of work we are doing in our day-to-day job. That's true part. I think everyone agrees on that part also. Okay, so what our primary job is, right? That we are doing only 50%, and 50% we are doing a preparatory work to do that our job, right? That is how we are actually spending our time. Okay, so they are saying all of this. They have already given some kind of bifurcation also, that in preparation how much time average we are using, in evaluation how much using. So they have given that kind of preparation. So they have done a further uh, research also, further survey also, and they have asked that how this time can be can be more, I can say, can be decreased so that we can more interact with the student, and how we can utilize this time more. Okay, means the preparation, this admin time, the left hand side part, how we can decrease it more so that we can increase our time to the left hand side by interacting with the customer. So they talked about that, and when they talked about that, another thing that has been come out, yes, where we can reduce more. Okay, in the preparation, in the evaluation, in the administration, in the instruction engagement, where we can actually do cut down the time. So this has all been done by the McKinsey. This whole survey is available. Anyone can go to their site, and actually they can just download the same, and it can be give you a lot of information from the industry perspective, from the standard perspective. Okay, yes, how we are actually doing. Okay, as a teacher, and in a global perspective. Okay, so further to that, what they talked about, yes, what is the AI adoption rate among the educators? Okay, they say that 61.6% is already adopted, and this number is going to expect that it will going to grow by 80% in the next few years. Okay, and what is the range they say talk about? They say it was those who are 30 years or old. Okay, under that, okay, under 30 years and old, they are using more AI than the above that. There are multiple reasons also they have cited for that. Okay, and one of the major reasons they have cited is the awareness. Okay, that there is no awareness on that, on the bigger part of that, because those who are coming as a youth, those who are just coming out from the college, or those they are just coming pass out, they have more uh, interaction, or I can say more exposed to the technology. Okay, they know more about that. I can say that my child more knows mobile function than me. Okay, I'm in that era. So similarly, those who are just coming out, they know they are more exposed to the technology, so they know more. So that's why they say that under 30-year-old, they are doing 33% of that are using that teaching. So the awareness need to bring up, and such kind of conference, such kind of seminar that we are doing right away as of now, that is one of the initiatives, one of the steps to bring that kind of awareness to all of you, so that we can see that how we are using that. So this is one of them. Now, how this impact on education? So this is what we talk about, some of the stats. Yes, how the stats are going on. What are the stats on the AI? Okay. So now we are going to talk about the next part of that, that how it is impacting the education part. Okay. So now when we are talking about the impact part, there are two parts we can talk about. One, how it is transforming the teaching method. Okay, and second also we can talk about that how it is transforming the educators. Okay, so teaching part we will talk in very brief. Okay, I will not take much on that, but possibly I'm going to talk much on the next part, that how it is impacting the educator, because you are all on such kind of positions, right? That you are all teaching, in the teaching part, you are teaching your student on a day-to-day basis. So how you guys can be benefited with the AI in the various parameter which we have talked about in the survey. Okay, so we are going to talk about a bit on that. So initially, first thing I'm going to talk about on the how it is impacting the teaching method. Okay, let's talk about the thing first. Okay, with the AI, when AI is coming into the picture, it is personalizing your learning experience. So when it goes to the student part, when it goes to any of the individual part, now they have their personalized learning experience. For example, they can do it at their own time, convenient, which is available on the YouTube, which is not part of the GenAI. Okay. Now, on the top of that, when the Gen AI part is coming up, then it is being customized to the individuals. Okay. Now, how individual is responding, the AI is going to generate the response accordingly. They are going to correct, they are going to put up, they are going to bring the curriculum along with that, right? So earlier we have anytime, anywhere we can read, but now we have yes, that reading is also personalized according to my need, that what I want, how I'm responding, and how that AI is going to react for that. Okay, so that's a personalized learning experience which is coming up. Now, use of that AI tools in the classroom. Okay, yes, you know, you guys, all guys are using the smart monitors and all these things to check that out, which actually enhance your student engagement. That how we are engaging the student. There are a lot of things which are coming out. AR, VR, all this is coming out, right? Smart monitors are coming out. Even the days now, the things are coming up that you can write down on the smart board at one place and it will be visible on the another place on the same smart board on the technology perspective. So a lot of such interaction collaboration tools are coming up, which gives a personalized, enhanced experience to your students. Okay, a lot of such kind of tools and a lot of such kind of technologies are available. So this is from the kind of student perspective that how they are doing. Now, how it is doing from the professor's perspective. Now, with the AI perspective, you can automate your administrative tasks. A lot of tasks we talk about. If you remember the graph again, in that graph, we talk about that 50% of work we are doing into the administrative, and only 50% we are interacting with the students. Now, how we can reduce that administrative part, how we can spend more time there, we can take an advantage of the AI and we can automate our tasks there. Okay, some kind of research, some kind of content creation. Again, it will go and go to the AI. Okay. And with the AI, we can also help us to the feedback. What are the tools for that? What are some sites for that? Probably we are going to talk about, we are going to explore more into our upcoming slides. Okay. So one by one, we are going to talk about that, the agility part, the AI part, and the uh, examples with that. Okay. So first topic which we are going to take in that perspective is content creation and the personalization. Okay. So obviously when you are going for any kind of teaching or your thesis or any of the content creation, you have to do a lot of research required for that, right? You have to go through the lots of sites, you have to bring out the best out of the content. There are a lot of content available for each and everything on the internet. So now how that research time can be reduced for you. Okay, so that GenAI can help you out with that.
Seems some network issue we need, I guess.
Manish, we
Your
can't hear
voice
you,
is
huh?
breaking.
Voice is breaking, Vineet.
Okay, then give me a minute only. Give
Ji.
me a minute. I will just switch my network a minute only, and I will come back. In the meantime, we are good to take a questions also if anyone has any questions.
If anyone has any questions, they can raise their hands and the moderators will unmute them to ask it. And please don't worry, no question is good question or bad question. We are here to make a connect with you. So please ask.
Okay, I'm back. Is it better now than the previous one?
Yes, Vineet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I was talking on the content creation and personalization. I will repeat from this slide itself. Okay, so as a professors, you have to go a lot. Okay, you have to create a lot of content for your own thesis also, and for get it consumed by the student also, right? And to prepare that content, lot of research also you guys need to done, right? So now that research part, if you remember our previous poll, okay, previous survey which we talk about, then the preparation you are already spending 10% of your time. Okay, so how we can utilize, how we can minimize that part, how we can take Gen AI to to generate that content. So there are a lot of tools is available. For example, one of the Chat GPT which we are using now every day. Gemini is there, Copilot is there. Okay, so all such tools can help you to prepare the content. When I say prepare the content, it is not like that whatever they are writing, you can use it as it is. Okay. It can bring you some content. You have to apply your own notion. You have to apply your own intelligence on the top of it. And you need to refine and you need to find out, okay, yes, what is helpful for me? What is helpful to consume for me? But yes, all the research that you are doing on the multiple sites, that can be reduced. So whenever you are going to the Gen AI, it is not like that they are giving you the 100% a complete solution ki yes, this is what I can do. Because if it reaches to that level, it can reach to the that level can read the human mind and give you the content exactly to the human mind. I think then maybe human will be replaced. But again, going back to the agile principle I talked, interaction. Okay, we can't do the interaction with the chat gpts, right? Chat gpt can give you the content, but the interaction is still missing. That human touch is missing. Okay, so when this human touch is missing, that's why we need that intelligence from the human perspective. Yes, how we can collaborate or how we can summarize those notes, how what is important for me and what content I need to take it forward. Okay, so that lecture notes, obviously a lot of sites, a lot of chat gpts or a lot of gpts are there which you can use. Okay, similarly you can create a customized learning plan which can be also very engaging for your student. For example, you can create quizzes online, right? So that quizzes can be a lot of engagement collaboration tools we are also seeing over these seminars also. For example, I have used menti.com today. Okay, in the previous session we have used the pollev.com, right? So a lot of such kind of interaction tools we are also seeing on this seminar. Yes, how you can use such kind of interaction and how you can increase the interaction with the student. Now, what is the agility context in that? Yes, as soon as anything new comes into the market, okay, anything new comes, okay, for example, in terms of content, in terms of change, you can quickly adopt it and always be up to date on the based of your chat GPT or based of your GPT, based of your generative AI. Okay, because that can help you to keep always up to date in that perspective. So that is for the content creation and the personalization. Next thing that we are going to talk about on the automating the administrative task. Okay, again going back to the survey which have taken in the base. So in the survey they talk about yes, there are 6.5% of time that you are spending on the evaluation and the grading, and this can be reduced down. Like this survey says yes, there are 3% of the work can be reduced down. How it can be reduced? With the help of the Gen AI part, where you can take help of some of the Gen AI tools like a gradoscope, which can help for the grading. Okay, you can use out for the syllabus creation. Like again, the same kind of GenAI tools, your ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot that can be used for the syllabus creation. So again, I'm repeating the same content again. Yes, it can give you the content, but on the top of that, now you have to put your intelligence and you have to find out, okay, what is the right content to consume for me, for my perspective, for my uh, education perspective, for my student perspective. So that is all on the top of that you have to do. But that research part that you are doing, going to the multiple sites, okay, that can be reduced by again from the Gen AI. From the agility context, how it's bringing the agility in the part, because it's reducing your manual workload, okay, and it's allows you to focus more on the teaching, more with the interaction, and to understand your students that how they are doing, how they are performing, and what we can do better for them. So the next task we are going to talk about is how you can enhance the student engagement. So student engagement, as I talked previously also, there are multiple things for that particular, right? For example, few of the polls that we have already demonstrated during these seminars that can be used. Okay, you can have the frequently asked question from the chatbot. A lot of things can be done, and there are a lot of virtual simulations are available which you can use to actually show them yes how the things works. Because when we talk about the students, a bigger perspective for that is that how they are going to learn on the practical part. Because if they are not learning on the practical part, everything goes on the theoretical, and that theoretical student, when they come out, when they goes to the market, they actually fail there because they don't know that how they are going to do, what they are going to perform there. So that practical aspect is very very necessary. That's why we have having a lot of workshop, we are having a lot of labs nowadays in the colleges, in the schools. But now, this virtual simulation, which is coming up from the lot of GenAI tools, for example, Runway ML or the Delhi, can help you out to give a more enhancing and more practical experience to the student. Yes, how it is going to happen in actual. Okay, so it is going to give a real-time simulation to the student. Okay, so that will enhance their agility to in the market and help them to be more relevant to the market perspective. Okay, it will help in the supporting research that we talked about multiple times. Yes, it can assist you to support research. A lot of tools. Okay, tools like Elicit can summarize your academic paper, or writing assistant. Now we have a lot of tools. If you search out on the Google, you will find out a lot of researching tools. Again, it will give you the content. On the top of that, research you need to do, and you have to draft it and you have to bring it out. And now building the collaborations and the knowledge sharing, how we are going to collaborate. Okay, so a lot of idea generation tools that can be used, like the Jasper AI can be used. Okay, a lot of translation tools. So now it is not an impossible things to teach any international audience. Okay, so if you have any kind of international audience or those who have any problem in understanding, there are a lot of translation tools are available. For example, on the MS Teams itself, you can turn on the translation and you can see all the subtitles in any language of your choice, right? So if any of the international student is joining, or if any of the person is joining who has any problem in understanding the way in which the communicator is communicating, they can just turn off the subtitles and they can listen in that particular part. On the top of that, there are some GNAI tools also which can even turn your voice to their preferred language also. Okay, in the live part. And whenever it is recorded, whenever it is there on the app, it is always possible to do that, right? So it helps you for the seamless communication. And obviously, GenAI is popular for the online courses, a lot of online courses, a lot of online content which are coming up, and that you can do, and that you can help your student for the more engagement. For example, any kind of video can be created, and that can be given as a challenge, that can be given as a homework, that can be given as a simulation to your students. Okay, and a lot of dynamic courses can be created on the Newton. One of the tool has been given here. Okay, and that will bring a lot of flexibility, lot of dynamics in your teaching part. So why I touch this particular part today? Because why we have touched this part, so that you guys will know that how GenAI can help you for all the work to offload, and being more focused on the interaction with the student, being more focused on the useful work which you can bring some more value to that. Okay, so that's why we have talked about some of these aspects with some of the practical tools for you guys, so that it will gives you a lot of knowledge, a lot of at least an understanding that where we are and how we can take an advantage of the Gen AI part, and how we can be more efficient in that area. Any questions before we move forward? You can raise your hand. Yes, Dr.
Sir,
Mirza.
the tools which you are saying about, could you please send those tools on WhatsApp group or on chat box so that we can write it down for a longer period of time?
Probably I'm going to send out this presentation to Dr.
Yeah,
Achal, and
actually, the
mhm,
reason is that at my screen only one slide is showing, that is developing online courses. I hope
correct.
you have not changed the slide or what.
No, no, I have not changed the slide. It is the same slide as
Okay,
of now. Okay,
okay, sir. Okay,
okay.
okay, sir.
But I can send it out to the Dr. Achal with a list of that, because I'm not in the WhatsApp group
Yeah,
as of now.
right.
So
So we will upload it. I mean, no issue.
Yeah, thank you
yes.
so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that is something that we want to get these tools. I know. Anything on other part? Okay, Renu, Pandeji, you have a question?
Very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Renji.
Uh, a little doubt from my side, sir, as we are using ChatGPT for multiple purposes. So, the content or material in ChatGPT, we don't know the source actually. So, no referencing, no citation is there. Should we encourage the student to get the study material from ChatGPT?
विनीत जी पहले just unmute yourself. You are muted.
I think someone is not liking me to talk about. Okay. Okay, sorry, Renuji. What happened that I'm talking about? See, in Chat GPT, when we are giving any, when we are asking anything, okay, there is another concept, prompt engineering. I think that we have gone through in the last 3 days. Okay, so that is also we have to learn on that particular part. Now, why we are bringing the concept? I am talking about that because when you are asking from the Chat GPT for any of the question, you can ask from the source also. That what is the source of this? Okay, you can add in your prompt in additionally can provide the source of this also to me. Okay, and then this Chat GPT will give you, okay, yes, this is the source from where we have taken this. Because whenever anyone is feeding the Chat GPT or any of the AI tool, okay, it's not even the Chat GPT, any of the AI tool, they also talk about, yes, what is the source from they have taken this. Okay, so they will give you the link, yes, this is the link from which this information has been taken. Then you can go manually to that link and you can verify whether this information is correct or not in case of any doubt. And you can also check out, yes, I can consume it or not.
Okay, sir.
Is
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, doubt was because we guys generally used to go for the referencing or citation, but students generally don't do so. They
uh-huh,
just put the topic and they get the structural material, and they even don't bother about that to check it out whether it is from where
correct,
it is come. So that is why
correct.
the doubt was. Thanks for the
No, no,
answering, sir. Thank.
perfectly fine. I hope it answers your question also, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Renuji. Any more questions from anyone? Okay, not a problem. Then let's move forward. Okay, we talk about so much on the Gen AI part. Okay, but as we know, as we've also gone through previously, okay, There are a lot of integrity problem also when we are using the chat, any kind of GenAI tools. Okay, and that what are those? We are talking the briefly on that. That what are the challenges in integrating AI? Like one Renuji just talked about, right? She talked about key references. We don't get the references that from where they are picking up the information. Okay. Similarly, there are other resistance also that people have to change or to adopt for the AI part. Okay, yes, why we should go and adopt the AI. So there are a lot of resistance for that. Okay. Few of the resistance that we can talk about is one of them is like culture barrier in the education. Okay. So now we know we are coming from a background where we says that we are always I can say always connected with the roots, right? And when we say connected with the roots, we always in believes in the interaction. We always say that we have to go for the interaction part only. And when we say Gen AI is coming with a belief that yes, it is only a mechanical language, and we have to go with the mechanical only. So here, the barrier of that comes up. Yes, culture barrier in education. That how they are having the culture barrier. Then the second thing that has been come out a lot of is the fear of job displacement. And how many of you feel yes, this is a correct fear? You can raise your hand. I will not go for NPL, but you can raise your hand. Just raise your hand, and you can just say that we have this fear of job displacement. One, all other are very good. Two, okay. Only two. Rest other are good. They don't have any fear with the Gen AI. Perfect. Then it's a very ideal scenario. Okay, fine. So in that case, see when the Gen AI is coming, okay, there are a lot of that the changes that we talked about, that agile that we talked about, the changes that we talked about. Now this has been multifolded a lot. Okay. Earlier, if that change is coming with a 2%, now it has been changed to the 10%. The changes are coming more faster. Okay. And now, if we are not able to adapt to the changes, okay, if we are not able to cope up with the changes, then we are behind the machine. And if we are behind the machine, obviously there is a fear of displacement. Now, if I have to go for a research, okay, I can get the structure and everything from the AI. But can I rely on the AI? No. This very, very straight question that can I rely on the AI content? No. But can I rely on your content? If that answer is yes, then your job is still safe because you are ahead of the AI. Okay. But if you say no, I can't sure on that, I don't know on that part, then obviously you need to cop up more and you need to think on that more. Okay. So now obviously you have there is something which machine can do, and now you have to show as a human intelligence ki, yes, are we ahead of that or not? Can I create something which is not there in the chat GPT, which is not in the Gen AI? Can I do something like that? If that answer is yes, that fear is not required, then this Gen AI is actually a boon for you, which can help you to do lot of your job, lot of mechanical job that you are doing. So it can help you to reduce that down. That is very, very necessary. You have to understand, and accordingly you have to use this Gen AI tools in your favor actually. Because if you're going to use those in your favor, then a lot of things that you can do, and you can actually increase your productivity, and you can actually show a lot of value over the Gen AIs. So that is very, very necessary, and we have to understand that part particular. Okay, on the top of that, yes, there are a lot of risk on the AI implementation, like data privacy and ethical concern. I think we have already gone through the responsible AI part, right? In the last sessions. Okay. So this slide is basically talking about the responsible AI. Yes, when we are going for any of the Gen AI tool, we have to talk
Beneath, the
about
screen
it.
is not shared. Screen is not shared.
You're not sure?
No.
Okay, so Dr. Achal, you have to help me out. Someone has changed me to attend you actually. Okay, and I'm not able to change, share the presentation. So you have to help me
Just
out.
give me a second. Just give me a second.
So someone doesn't like me at all. They are keep
No, I mean
muting
it is
me,
not
changing me
possible
to
that way.
attendee.
They are not the one they are not having the access.
Okay, in the meantime, when this shifting is happening, any questions we are free to take. Anyone have any questions? They can raise their hand, and I'm happy to take your questions.
I have a question to the participants here. Anyone who thinks they have not used AI, raise your hands. If you think I only know, but I have not got a chance to interact or use AI. Anyone? Everyone has used. Very good. So idea was, in case someone would have said, no, I have not used AI, you use YouTube. It gives you recommendations, right? That is AI. You use Google News. It gives you recommendations. It is AI. So don't feel that if you do not know these tools, you are away from AI. No, the form is different, but the technology and the approach is same. Please back to you.
Thank you for that addition. So yes, AI is now the Gen AI is in our common sense. If you have mobile, you are using the Gen AI. That's for sure. Okay, nothing apart from that we can say. Okay, because every app in your mobile now is connected to the Gen AI. They are taking up your data, all the personalized data, and they are creating their own content. Unless you are very smart and you are turning off all the settings. Yes, I don't want to share the data. Okay, they are doing it very smartly. So that's the case. Okay, moving to the next section, the future of AI and agility in education, how it is going to be happen, how AI is going to talk about in the education perspective. So AI innovations, a lot of innovations are coming up. Okay, lot of innovations are there in the AI. I think every day we are hearing a new tool. Every day we are hearing a new innovation. Every day we are hearing that how AI is personalizing the content. Okay, and how many AI sites are coming up. Okay, and future of remote learning that is also in the base. Any one of you is aware of any of the AI app, education app that you can name down? In any education app where you've seen the AI, the personalization?
Yeah, I guess currently most of the attack companies are coming up with their apps using this AI feature, because they even looking up the notes, topics, even the content you are viewing, and based on that they are giving you that personalization, maybe even maintaining their record. So they are doing it.
Correct. So that's why what is the recommendations now going on, that there should be a training for the educators. Okay, that they should know that is what is going on the AI part. Okay, and there should be an ecosystem should be created so that they should learn and they should more incorporate it. Okay, now while having this kind of sessions that we are doing as of now, this will give you the one part. Okay, the training for the educators. Okay, yes, they are giving you a lot of awareness that what is the Gen AI and how it can be used and how it is happening. All these things. Okay, so this training for educators is one of can be covered with one of the initiative which is going up now right away. Okay, now creating that ecosystem, now that something you can do on the personal level also, and that is something you can have your lab setups in your colleges also. And I hope a lot of colleges are now coming with the initiatives. Yes, we should have that inclusive AI ecosystem where we can go and we can talk about yes, how the AI work for us from end to end perspective. And when we say this strategic recommendation, okay, when we talk about this recommendation, is it just a theoretical or it is something demanded by the teachers also? So a lot of surveys has been done as I talked about previously also. So the voice of teachers, voice of professor, what they say. So you have 54.92%, more than half of they say is very essential of in India now to focus on the AI program for the teachers. It is very essential. Only very small group which are not aware of the AI, which is still deprived from that AI terminologies, they say it may not be useful or I'm uncertain. Okay. Otherwise, a big percentage say yes, it is very essential. Then 36.74% says yes, it is yes essential coming up in our way, and we need to cope up with all of this. Okay, so this is not something theoretical that we are talking about. This is all coming through the survey, and they talk about yes, this is what we need to do. Now we talk about the last section of our lecture, or I can say session. What is the conclusion and the call of action for this? Okay. So conclusion, as we talk about yes, in terms of Gen AI perspective, in terms of the agility perspective, yes, we should always be flexible to adopt the change. So we should have an agile mindset where we are talking about yes, what is coming in our way. We are flexible to that, and we are always good to adopt to these changes by taking a benefit from the Gen AI. So it is very essential that you are going to reap the benefit, and you will show that we are very flexible to adopt any kind of changes that we have as of now. Similarly, on the top of that, you should always encourage the adoption of AI in the academics. Okay. So in the academics, when you go, you should always talk about yes, what is the next step, how we can adopt it. Okay. And create a collaborative learning community where you can promote that collaboration, communications, and learning using the Gen AIs and improve the overall acceptance, and how you can make an ecosystem and how you can learn more on that. So this is all I have with one of the case study of the Duolingo. I think I can just talk brief of that Duolingo. I hope you all are aware of this Duolingo application or Duolingo app, I will say. Okay, which talks about yes, if you have to learn the next language, then this app will help you out. Okay. So now when we're talking about this app, this is now the one of the most popular app for the dual language learning. Okay. And how they have done, they have 500 million plus registered user, 100 plus of a course, and all this kind of active user. And they have a user from 18 to 24. This is their main strength. Okay. And a lot of revenue. And on the top of that, the bigger thing is that the retention period is very good. Okay. So those who are coming to their app for the learning, they are active being there. They're not going away. That's why they have 65.1% share in the global for the any of the language app. How it is? Because they are using the Gen AI. Okay. And they are giving a very personalized feature to their subscriber. How they are doing that? Because they are engaging the user with the artificial intelligence conversion. For example, if I'm going to speak anything to the Duolingo app, okay, from my speech, which I'm talking to them, talking to the Duolingo app, they will recognize that where the grammatical mistakes is that I have made. They are going to catch those, and they are going to give me a recommendation based on that. Okay. And then on the top of that, lot of gamified features they have, which bring the attention to the app. Okay. Which brings a lot of involvement of the user, and which help your user to keep engaged. Okay. So a lot of such kind of gamification features are there. That's why their retention statistics, if you see, they have a daily active user of 24.2 million and 55% of next day retention session, because they have a feature in the app that if you keep continuing for the next 7 days, you will be rewarded like this. If your next 10 days, it will be rewarded like this. So they have the milestone which they have created. So a lot of gamification is there. That's why we say that this kind of innovations or this kind of thinking is required in our academics also, when we are going to that, how we can bring more innovations and more theoretical, more perspectives to the student, so that they will more interactive, more engaging, taking the benefit of the Gen AI that we have. Okay, so that's the one of the case study I want to bring it to you, so that you can have the practical knowledge or exposure of that how it can help you out. So that's all I have from my side. I'm open to take any questions. And Amit, if you want to add anything, please feel free to do so.
Hey, Vineet, you covered it very well. I'm only concerned that people are not asking questions. Either it's going over their head, or maybe they are scared of asking. So again, on Vineet's behalf and on behalf of the entire team that is presenting the series, please ask us questions. We understand it's a difficult topic, a new topic, and only when you
But
will
I
ask, we'll
hope
be able to. Only when you will ask, we'll be able to answer it and help you clarify your doubts.
and I hope I have not taken lot of over the head things for you. I
Very,
hope it will be
very
useful.
to the point.
Anyone, any questions you guys have?
Yeah, I have one question. I mean, Vineet, I mean, probably as a faculty fraternity,
Mhm.
they tend to look at, I mean, because you have discussed there is something like fear of AI, or I would rather say they are more keen to know, I mean, how it actually going to make a paradigm shift altogether. But like,
Mhm.
I mean, this case study that you're talking about Duolingo, I mean, if we reinvent the wheel and looking into a perspective
Mhm.
where students are more tend to go to the online content rather than coming to the classes. I mean, this is very general issue with all, I guess, all the faculty members, because they believe that most of the contents are being there on the net. And with this example of Duolingo, I mean, probably as you said, that how they are going to set up a milestone and all those things. But probably we see, I mean, down the line when this internet is not that approachable or all those things being there, so the faculty member tend to build up things in the same manner to bring the students in the class. But now the things have changed. It is not about internet, it is not about AI, but it is more of the perception where we are not able to make those changes because we have already tried those changes over the period of time. And now this concept of AI or Google and all YouTubes and everything actually making students to not concentrating on that offline content in the classroom. They are more confined to those aspects. They believe that more things will be available over there. So how we are actually looking into this aspect where it is not challenging but in fact competitive, though we have one session yesterday on the same theme.
Okay, probably I may not be expert on that, but I will say a very basic things on that. Human touch, right? Because whenever they are going online, okay, they can find the content. I'm pretty much sure much better than maybe the faculty which is teaching, because when they look out for the Google is a source of unlimited knowledge, similarly as ChatGPT. But that human touch, no internet can give. Okay. So why we are talking about the human touch? Because when they come to the class, okay, a lot of things happens there. First thing is the collaboration for sure. Okay, among the community in which they are sitting up. Okay. Second thing, the competition among the student. Okay. And to build that, what is required that your faculty should be also engaging. Okay, they have to understand from the student perspective here how my students are performing, how can I help them on their level, because again we are talking to the human, we know those humans are not on the same level, their levels are totally different. Okay, and we have to be understand from that perspective yes, how we can reach to that level and how we can help them from the that perspective. So bringing that collaborative community, bringing that learning experience, bringing that engagement is very necessary to bring the students to a class and let them know yes, how they are going to beneficial, how it is beneficial for them. That is my opinion. Amit, you want to add anything?
Uh, Same thing, but a different flavor. See, the four values which the participants here see. You remove the term software because agile can be everywhere. Could be farming as well, right? Could be cooking as well. Idea is those who are building it should interact with who they are building for. So there was a question some time ago. One lady asked that if students are submitting a paper using AI and they're not able to cite the source, if they tell it only at the end, teacher will not be able to give a timely suggestion. But in idea is collaboration, as Vineet said, that students and teachers should collaborate. How the AI is helping them create that paper. Moreover, more than creation of the paper, the value the paper and the content brings. So, in all, agility will help you ensure that the outcome from the AI is not different from what you wanted. With back to you, please.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, I guess, I mean, if we talk about this agility component, it is more prone to, like we discussed, I mean, the age group less than 30 and beyond that. I mean, in the same context, if you're talking about agility to adopt with the changes, so students are taking it very fast. And that penetration, because you're talking about that AI for all is being implemented by government of India and elsewhere, they are saying that train the trainers through this AI concept and all. So there is a lag. I mean, I believe there is a lag in terms of accepting those aspects. It is not about only chat GPT as you begin with the session. It is not about chat GPT. Earlier, if we down the line seeing these things 10 years, 15 years back, it was more like perception with a Google. I mean, the search engine is giving you all the things that you actually come and see on the classroom. And perfectly on the same line in today's context, it is chat gpt or these LLM models. So this gap is again need to be somewhere filled up with the faculties who are going to take up the challenge to interact and collaborate with the students.
Okay, so when you go for the chat GPT, the same content will come for the student and same content will come to you also. Correct? Now, when the same content come to the student, how they are grabbing and how you are grabbing is totally different. That's why we are on the position of the professor, right? And when we are grabbing this content and when we are making them understand, the way of doing that should be totally different and innovative. Okay, because if we are repeating the same to them, then they will don't find any value on that. Okay, because same kind of content they will say I have available on the chat GPT and I can see and I can also read it out. Okay, but when you are giving that content to them with more practical aspect, okay, with more innovations to them, okay, then they will find a value. Okay, yes, I'm getting this from the chat GPT, but the way I'm getting it, absorbing it is totally different when I go to the classroom. Correct. Earlier also a lot of in case of books era also. Okay, I will not go to Google even case of book era also the same kind of book is available to the student also and you also, right? For every any professor, but how as a student I'm going to interpret and how as a professor you are going to interpret is totally different, right? Because you have read it so many times that experience makes you perfect. You know the line by line, you know the word by word, that what is the importance of this, why this has been written, what is the importance of this line. As a student, I may ignore a lot of lines there because I find it out, yes, it's difficult, it's boring. I'm not going to do that, right? For example, these four values I'm going to talk about. As an agile expert, I know these four values have a lot of meaning behind that also. How it can be implemented, how it can be a mindset, right? But when I'm talking to you guys, there may be a new thing or you may not have gone through in that, right? But same case when coming to the content of your expertise, I can say subject, right? What you know beyond that particular what ChatGPT has given, and how you are delivering that content to the student is very very essential, right? That's why we say it's need to be more engaging, and you have to be talk about that how that collaboration can be made, because the same content is available to you and to them, and now we have to see how we are delivering that content. So the concept is still the same. Still, like earlier we have book, then we come up with the Google, now we are come with the chat GPT. So content is still vast, it is increasing. Yes, we are giving some pinpoint content, but that content now your lecture also should be sharp according to the chat GPT content.
In this connection itself, because we have a large audience and they actually come out with the different domains, including management and all. So if I just talk about a simple use case in terms of this agility, that okay, we want to adopt this AI to the education sector, how you are going to step by step build it up in terms of the whole one line story of it. Any case study, I mean, if talking about incorporating AI to the education with these four components or the core values.
Amit, you want to take this question?
Yes, sure. And I'm assuming, doctor, that we have people who are from the non-IT background as well.
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
be
definitely.
right. Is it fair to assume that, for example, let's say we have students who enroll for agriculture courses, or do we not?
I guess no.
Okay, manufacturing, cooking,
Management is
something,
there.
We
home
have
sciences,
farmers. I
literature,
know. I
pharma.
remember pharma. We have. Okay.
Okay, we have a hand raised.
Prashant. Yes. I think
Prashant, please go ahead.
we need to unmute Prashant.
Yeah, Prashant, you may ask question.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please go
Hmm.
ahead.
If we implement this AI in education sector, but the main core thing is the human touch.
Right.
Mhm.
That will be missing. And again, students have actually the ability to diverge because they are not matured, so that they will learn automatically on their own.
Mhm.
And that is the one thing we cannot control, or we don't have any control on the students also. One thing, and second thing, in India we have so much population, and there are many people who are able to teach. Teachers are there, many teachers are there, and good teachers are there. So if AI will come, whether it will remove the jobs of teachers, because as far as the management is considered, they will obviously think about the work in very less money. So if a tool is purchased, then actually it will hamper the human power. That I think.
I'll use this example to answer the question that Achal you had about a case study. For example, let's say Vineet is the chairman of uh, 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 university, right? He includes me as a person who wants to transform the way lectures are given. And let's say we have Dr. Achal, who is one of the students. Now, when this change will come out, we will use agility as a process to deliver the new program using AI to give us the content, but not replace the human intelligence. And I tell you how. Day one, he will bring all of us together. Day after some days, we will use AI to provide us recommendations. What courses we should have, the length, duration, mock questions, experiments, and so forth. But AI will only recommend. Now, this is where the human element comes. The expert will remain an expert. You cannot become a doctor by reading WhatsApp messages. So the expert will decide from the recommendations what is important and what is not. In doing so comes the second part, working software over comprehensive documentation. We will have one pilot. That pilot either will pass, fail, or have some gaps. We'll go back to collaboration. And this iterative process will only succeed when we have a human touch. Yes, it may happen for regular courses. We may be using AI more than the human teachers, but those human teachers will be able to upskill themselves for advanced courses. And in doing so, whatever the AI recommends as the outcome, the teachers can continue recommending, depending upon what Vineet may have planned as a sponsor or a chairman of the university. So jobs may change, but they will not go away. Vineet, was I able to answer the question, Rachel?
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
sir. Yes, sir.
it is right. And in that connection itself, I believe, I mean, as a faculty, we need to do a lot of experimentation.
Yes.
And one part of that experimentation is actually being their uses of this AI. Reason being, I mean, in a contemporary way of teaching, we actually believe to say we have to cover one topic or a particular course, and we define the syllabus accordingly. We prepare our lecture, we deliver our maybe using different digital tools and everything. But in that connection, once we are talking about the different aspects of AI to be incorporated over here, then yes, there are ways of doing it. And one of the very good way of doing or making involvement of the student is using these AI tools, right? Probably uh, like we prepare some topics or we share links so that the student can go and prepare them and then come back. So this is very contemporary way of doing the things. But on contrary, I mean, once we are talking about this AI and everything, so here we make use of these aspects when we share the link, like for a particular topic, and maybe on YouTube, as we said that we are using these tools, and probably being asked students to go and view this YouTube video, and let we have a flip classroom next day and see to it that what you have understood and how we can actually uh, uh, continue with this on the discussion. But while looking at that one video, YouTube start giving the recommendation to go into the depth of it. So probably as a teacher, we only thought about one aspect, that this YouTube video maybe suffice to come next day and have a discussion on the topic. But at the same time, at a back end, without making very much fuss about the things, the recommendation system is working at a back end and providing more depth to the topic and giving more options to explore it into the depth, and serving a purpose somehow of the teacher who believe that they are going to discuss next on a particular topic, but students are getting more depth to the topic understandability and have a better discussion in the class. So
Okay.
so AI is being there, how judicially teachers are using it in terms of making their content more engaging, or making more viable to the understanding of the things, is up to the teachers, I guess.
Right.
I totally agree on you that part. Ki yes, when you go to the YouTube, there are a lot of recommendations comes out. Okay, and I believe, okay, as a professor, we have the knowledge of that. We may not have gone through that content. I agree, but we have the knowledge of that. Okay, but there's a disadvantage also there. The disadvantage part is that when you go to that content, then you will actually forget how to navigate, because there are a lot of content that been dumped there. Okay, so as a teacher, as a mentor, it is my responsibility that I should guide my teacher. Okay, yes, the content will come, but this should be the next step for you. You should go to the next step, this one. Okay, I have given them a one video. Okay, and I will say them, okay, yes, if you have to look for the next step, okay, then look out for these kind of video. Don't go into that unnavigated path. Okay, I'm giving you the navigation. Okay, one recommendation and the navigation. So that's how you are going to mold them, and then they will value you, saying, okay, yes, you are one step ahead than that. And obviously, when you are saying your chat GPT is your competitor, okay, then you should know about your competitor. Okay, yes, what the competitor is recommending and how you can be one step ahead of that. Okay, and I know to cope up with that, lot of change is required and lot of, I can say, knowledge or a lot of devotion is required there. But as a top of that knowledge, because you have that extreme knowledge, you have that knows about it, you are master of your subject, so there's no point that you can compete with the chat. There's no question on that at all, not at all a question of that. You have much knowledge and much, I can say, the structured knowledge than the chat gpt, and the same structured knowledge you have to exhibit to your students, to your partners or your students, ki yes, how they can also navigate through that path, so that when they are going to any of the content, what should be the next step and how they can move forward and how they can navigate forward.
And just one more thing, there was a poll that Vineet conducted about how much time the faculties are spending with the students. So AI will take away the problematic aspects that is stopping you from giving time to your students. And then they can be a more connect. For example, let's say homework checking, right? The AI can do it, and you can work on important aspects that the student might be lacking. So the connections will increase. Back to you.
Okay, I
Vinay, I
can see
guess
one more
was,
hand raised from Vinay.
yeah, Vinay, right.
I'm audible.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, yes.
Sir, as you told, AI give us the many of the advantages, but if as if we see that process of the teaching learning, And in the point of view of the teacher, yes, they provide us the lot of tool and techniques that we have to improve our teaching and engage to the student. But
Mhm.
uh, point of view student, uh, most of the students are right now using the chat gpt, but they doesn't know about the content of the particular subject, or they have not a knowledge of the topic, but they are only be used. And another aspect, they are not be preparing the books. What the kind of the things AI help for the student?
Can I take it?
Sure, Amit, go ahead.
Suppose example के लिए again I'll give a real life example. I went to the hostel and I didn't know how to prepare tea for myself. I go to Google, I type how to prepare tea. Now there are many websites that tell me how to prepare it. I have to apply my mind as a student first by trusting what are the verified sources. Number two, if let's say out of 100 I shortlist 20, maybe I can consult an expert, which in case could be a teacher, that out of these 20, which 5 or 4 are better. And then together we can experiment to see, okay, these 5 options, let's try one day at a time and see which one is actually fitting my taste. Taking it to the example of a student can get distracted of too many options coming very easily to him. But he has to trust the intellect of the teacher. He also has to understand that the results are coming only through the data that has been fed in AI. They may not be correct. For example, you all would have read the news. There was a car going and the bridge was broken. It fell down. It trusted the GPS. So, students must apply the mind and trust their instinct that their teachers are equally qualified and they can verify the content. Vineet, back to you, please. Or Achal, please.
Yeah, perfectly fine, Amit. I think this is the same like that, how you are going to teach your kid that not to use mobile and know how to use a book. I know you have more authority there, more control there. You don't have that on the student. I totally agree on that. But you have to think in that way that how you are teaching a kid, the same way how you are going to teach a student, that you have to be more prefer than book. And that interest comes with lot of effort. But yes, if that comes, you will be generating one of the great person there. Okay, so I think that's all from our side. No hand raise, and I'm the top of the hours also. So Ajal, back to you.
Yes, I mean, thank you. I mean, it is indeed something which is out of context in the mind of the audience, because probably they also know about this very fact that they need to get that agility in terms of adopting this. But yeah, but still, I mean, somewhere we hesitate in doing so with that same pace the students are doing, because we are more cautious in terms of taking up those jobs and with the risk factor involved. So it is good session in terms of providing that aspect, or actually igniting our mind to think on different aspects which do exist, not only the term AI. I mean, it is more to that. So mm, thank you. I mean, I would say, I mean, audience is being there and more able to judge out on those aspects, that how they would be able to make use of these aspects in their daily life to bring more to the teaching ability. I personally make use of this chat GPT to do some of my administrative jobs. So probably how we are able to make use of it, that is all up to you or us. I mean, in long run. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good to hear that we are able to deliver something useful for you guys. That's a good feedback. And if any more feedback, please pass on to us. We will be happy to hear. And feel free to connect with us on the LinkedIn or any medium, whatever you have. And I will pass on these tools and this presentation to you for the consume for the wider audience so that they can consume that. And thank
Right.
you very much for inviting us and giving this opportunity.
Same here. Thank you, Dr. Achal, and everyone here for making us share the knowledge with you all.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Kansal and
Vineet. Thank you,
Mr.
Amit.
Agarwal, for such an inspiring session.
Thank you.
We'll be beginning with the second session very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, uh, next session is from Ajay Kumar. I guess I just had a conversation. He is just trying. I mean, he is from UK and he is just trying to make a connection right now. So I guess he has joined. Right. Yes.
We now proceed to the final session of day 4, titled Leveraging AI for Predictive Analytics in Quantitative Finance. This session will explore how AI is transforming quantitative finance, enabling better prediction, risk management, and decision making in financial markets.
We are honored to have with us Mr. Ajay Kumar, Senior Quantitative Strategist at Deutsche Bank London, as our speaker. With over 16 years of experience, Mr. Kumar is a seasoned expert in applying AI for predictive analytics and quantitative strategies in finance.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for being with us today. We look forward to gaining valuable insights from your session. Over to you, sir.
Hello everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Hello. Thank you for inviting me for this session. Um, so the so as you have explained, today's topic is I was told like it's AI and how it is used in quantitative finance. But my experience is mainly into the traditional quantitative finance. So I will divert little bit, mainly on the experience which I have got in that area, and then we will touch through for the machine learning as well. But that will be in the end very limited because it's making inroad, but it's mainly on the peripherals of quantitative finance. So, okay, let's go through and I'll share my screen for the presentation. Uh, okay, one sec, let me share the other screen, not this one. Can you guys see my presentation? Just simply one of you, just let me know, acknowledge it if
Yes,
you
sir,
can
it's
see it.
visible.
Okay, okay. So the boring stuff, but an important one. So any information that we discuss today is for only for educational purpose or general knowledge, and it doesn't constitute any financial advice or recommendation to buy any security or investment, really. So if you want to um, invest or you want to buy any product or sell one, then it's better to go through your qualified financial advisor, because I'm not a qualified financial advisor. So anything we discuss here is purely for education purposes. Okay, so it's important for us, and I'm a regulated person in UK, so I have to go through all this. So I'll give you a little bit of my background first. So I've been working mainly for almost 20 years now, and most of my career has veered off into finance, specifically into quantitative finance and related to technologies. Started as a technologist and then moved into finance. So working as a senior quantitative strategist with Deutsche Bank in London, and I've recently joined Deutsche Bank. Before that, I was working in a hedge fund. And I'll go through, if you don't know these terminology, we will briefly go through it. I have like around 24 slides, so it's a briefly we will go through every slide, and if there are any questions, we will take it in the end. So as I said, like for almost 2 decades of experience, and mainly into finance and providing trading solutions to different financial clients, and specializing in equities and FX. FX is a currency market. So you can say out of 2 decades, one decade into this winter flood securities, that was purely in equities, and it was mainly into front office role. Front office is like, where the traders sit, and you need to communicate with the traders and and help day-to-day trading, really. So we can look into market making if we get time. It's a broad topic, big topic, and so these 10 years I spent was mainly into you can say the core equity trading. In a simple term, you can say how stock market works in the background. When you go buy, say, SBI, or you go buy SDFC, what happens in the background? So that's all in all for almost spent a decade over there. So technically and functionally how it works, that's a core experience I have. So that was 1 decade. Apart from that, when I did my uni in 2003 in computer science, and then moved to London pretty much after 1 or 2 years. So worked in various IT companies like Pfizer. Pfizer was setting up a office in Noida at that time. So I was very early in that, but then I moved to London, and then worked here into BNP Paribas, which is a bank, and then carried on in the meanwhile. So that is where my touch was with the quantitative finance. So while I was working, then I was doing my MS in quantitative finance. So we will go through what is quantitative finance. If you don't know, it's quite possible that you would have touch of it. Things have moved a lot since 2010. So did my MS from Berwick and that University of London, and then moved to Winterflood, and then to a hedge fund, Millennium Global. So this was mainly into the currency market. Simply, you can say, like, if you trade US dollar with INR, is similar thing. So that hedge fund, Millennium Global, they do currency trading for big clients, manage around $18 billion worth of portfolios. You might be thinking $18 billion, that's a big number. It is a big number, but how does it happen? Why London is a financial capital of the world? So that all come into picture in all these roles, really. Chunk of it, I would say. And then move to Deutsche Bank. It's so different terminology comes in, buy side, sell side. We will come to that. And that's it. So that's my introduction. Let's go through to the interest, electronic trading. This electronic trading is actually how electronically stock market works in the background. So that's my area of, you can say, expertise plus understanding. And that's where I've spent my professional life. So let's go through to the agenda. So these are the different topics we will cover. It's just an introduction to what is quant trading, and then how it differs from the traditional finance. And then we will go through the brief history, how the finance has moved in the past. What are different types of quants? What is a quant? What is buy side, sell side? What is algorithmic trading or high frequency trading? What is derivative pricing? So, these are, you can say these are domain in itself. These are big topics. So in this like 1.5 hour, we can just touch upon them. But what you can take out of this presentation is this can give you a broad structure of what involves into the finance market, especially in investment banking. Okay, so and especially for the students, you can explore if it interests you what you can do. These are different career direction you can take. So I'm hoping it will be very useful. And then how you can become a quant trader. It's mainly academic. Becoming a quant trader involves a lot of different areas. So we will touch upon that. And then what are different trading strategies, how actually quant trading works, quantitative finance. Then we come to the latency or HFT. HFT is like high frequency trading. And then we will come to the topic, which was actually the main topic, but that's like machine learning and AI. I can go through broadly into how it's making inroad into quantitative finance and brief introduction, how it's different case studies as well. But to go into deep into it, you need a bit more sessions. So we will just touch upon that. So let's go through the first slide, which is the introduction to the quant trading. What is quant trading? So quant trading is actually, suppose like if you have a demat account, I think in India you have a demat account by which you can buy stock. So as a layman person, or like you will have an account with one of your banks, say you have an account, demat account with SBI or Kotak or Zerodha or different brokers. Yeah, you will have a perception that this is a stock I want to buy and it can go up or it can go down. And based on that, you will create a decision. You will make a decision like I should buy this time. Oh, the market can go up, market can go down. So all these things come into mind. But as a layman, 90 to 95% the public, what they will do, they will go via the perception. Okay, they will say, oh yeah, the market is pretty low. Today, I think market went down. So it's low. I should buy this stock. It's a quality stock. I should go and buy it. But that is perception. So who are you actually, if you are buying a stock, who is actually selling that stock? Okay. So what are different participants? And can you actually automate that? So that is what quant trading comes into the picture. So it's a type of market strategy where you study the data, and based on that data, you create an algo or a model that will tell you some signal that, oh, actually you can buy this stock. Based on these different algorithmic calculations, you can buy this. And what are these calculations? These are actually, you can say, mathematics. The quantitative finance is specialized mathematics. It has got its own calculus, like integration differentiation. It has Ito calculus, and you have different statistical models. So that is what the quantitative trading is. Like you automate it and you generate some signals, and based on that signal, you trade a portfolio. What is the meaning of portfolio? A set of stocks or set of assets. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think I've spent more time on this. So let's see. So how does the quantitative trading or the quant analyst is a term who actually look into the data, come up with the strategies, or you can say research on that. These are quant analysts. What are traditional analysts? Traditional analysts, you can say, you have got a stock, you have an equity analyst sitting within a fund or a desk, and they will research. They will look into who is the management of a particular company, and they will go through manually, and they will look into the PE ratios, different risk management ratios or the pricing inputs, capital, what company has got, and they will create a report. So that is manual, that is trading analyst. So it has got a lot of human touch. Yeah. So, but in quant, you have data. You see, in a sense, if I see comparable, you can see the PE ratio, what is market capitalization. You can ingest the data and you can read that data and analyze it. Based on that, you can generate a signal whether a particular stock should be shorted or you should go long. Shorted is meaning if you short a stock or asset means you are selling it. If you are long, that means you are buying it. Okay. So that's how you do statistical research. You look into the different factors and how they correlate with each other. So you can see if the US market is moving, how will the impact next morning into Japan? Okay, so there is a high, these markets are highly correlated. So that's how the quant differ from the analyst. Let's look at some of the history. So until 70s, there was a lot of manual trading. So there were a lot of, if you would have seen old movies, especially the Hollywood, some of the trading movies, there will be in the exchange, even it was in Bombay Stock Exchange, there were loads and loads of traders sitting on the exchange, and they had one, you can say they had one desk, and manually they were doing trading. They will have a phone call, and on the phone call they will say, buy me this, and they will buy that particular security. But this thing moved as the computer made inroad. So they found that actually you can, if you know the different prices, you can uh, you can actually automate it, or you can do some more research. You can find how they are correlated, or what are the different uh, assets, and they move. Do they move together? Do they move away? And just a general principle, if I say like gold and the stock market. So if the stock market is going down, the gold will go up. Okay, if the gold is going down, stock market will go up. So that's an inverse proportional. It's a uh, rough rule, I'm saying. In a sense, you can say that when the market goes up, everybody is putting money into the market, into the different securities. So the gold will take a backseat. But the moment market goes down, the risk is increasing. That means it's risky. The equities or the front market is risky. So the gold comes as a hedge. You can say it's a hedge against inflation actually, but you can say it's a safe haven. So the money will go into the bonds, like debt government securities or the gold. So that's how the history moved in. And now the artificial intelligence and ML is making big inroads into the quantitative finance. And the reason why it's making, because the ML or you can have complex models, but is it bringing any alpha? Alpha is the return that you get based on that complexity. So is it really worth it? And where you can use ML or AI. So it's making inroad mainly on the peripherals. Like if you have data analysis, you can use ML over there. Yeah. So, and if you have an analyst, and you can use AI to have prompt engineering, where you can say, like for analyst, and if they have a custom model built based on AI, so you can have like, oh, give me the comparable P ratio of the basket of 10 stocks, and the AI can, if you have a model built in, you can get a comparable number over there. Then they need not to go through all the P ratios of all them manually. So that is where the ML and AI come into picture. That's just one example. There are different NLP, like you can do sentimental analysis, whether the sentiments are against it or in the favor of a particular asset. Let's go to different types of quant. Now we are coming to this term as buy side and sell side. Actually, the stock market or finance is divided into particular two types of investors, you can say. One is the buy side, which is actually the brokers or the hedge fund. So in a sense, you can say this is a company which has got many clients and they do the proprietary trading, means they have a lot of money and they are doing trading for themselves. That is considered buy side. Okay. And then you have sell side, which is mainly the investment bank. So there is a bank who is providing the service, who is saying, I have a product like an option and I'm ready to sell it to my clients. Okay. So that is sell side. In a sense, you can say your broker, the demat account that holds, that broker actually is a kind of like buy side. Yeah. But sell side is the one who are actually creating those assets, or you can say the securities. That's sell side. Now, on the quantitative finance side, there are different rules within the buy side and sell side. So whenever we are talking about investment banking, on either on buy side or sell side, there are mainly three areas: front office, middle office, and back office. So the front office is where the trader sit. Uh, you can say the trader is actually doing the trading. Yeah. So they are buying stocks for their clients, or they are buying some debt securities, or you can say they are buying currencies. Yeah. So it's a front office. What on the quantitative finance side, you have got quant traders. The quant traders, they won't have much of the interaction with the uh, you can say the client itself, but what they will be doing, they will be executing the different strategies. They will be executing strategies, and based on that, they will have a portfolio that they will execute. Now, this is the quant trader. On in the same team on the front office, you will have a portfolio manager. What is a portfolio manager? They will manage the entire portfolio that quant traders execute. Now, if you see this is red, the reason is because I was working if you would have noticed, the Millennium Global, I was working in a hedge fund and I was within this team. So we had quant traders who will execute the currencies for us, and I was managing the entire quantitative development infrastructure for them. And we had one portfolio manager, and we all used to report to the chief investment officer, the chief quantitative investment management. So you can say it's headed by a chief investment officer, who will be responsible for the entire desk. So you will have the front office, then you will have quant researcher and developer. So it says back office, but this back office means like you are not on the front where you are doing the trades itself. But not every hedge fund or proprietary trading have the clear distinction of front office, back office, or mid office. You can have one team, but all different members are doing all bits. Yeah. So you will have quant researcher. What quant researchers do is the quant trader will say, oh, actually, I think when the US market opens and it's either up or down, the Japanese market next day follow suit. If it is up, the US market is up, the Japanese market is also up the next day. So what we can do, if we can see the US market is up, we can buy the Japanese market next day. Okay. Now, the trader has come up with this assumption. It's an assumption because either they can have a demo. The most of trader can code as well. They will have a demo script and they will say to the researcher, can we work on this idea? So the researcher will say, okay, what will I need to do? So I'm telling you about a actual case study, how the desk works. So they will say, okay, so you are saying if the market goes up, the Japanese market also goes up. Okay, fine. I will have the closing price for the US market. I will have the closing price for the Japanese market, and I'll see the correlation between. And based on that correlation, I'll see how many times it has gone up and how many times it has gone down. And based on that, we will see whether it is worth trading or not. So what actually the quant researcher is doing, whatever the ideas have been generated by the trader, the researcher is actually researching on that. And also, it's not only the traders, they can come up, they can look into the different research papers and see whether they can produce some return or not. Yeah. Now, once they have come up with the research and they can say, oh, actually, this can produce a good return to us, then comes the quant developers. Okay. The quant developers are mainly who will actually, you can say, the develop and integrate those research ideas into the current modeling system. What is modeling system? They will have a model where trader can execute, researcher can research, and the developer can, you can say, integrate the new strategies into it so that we can produce a signal. So these were the areas, mix of it, I worked. And then you have the sell side, which is now, then I'm a strategist. Strategist is a kind of like, you can say, technologist plus who is the quant analyst as well. So it's a mix, and the sell side strategists are a lot different from the buy side. So you can have a desk quant. Desk quant is actually to the bank. A client will come. Client will say, "Can you price me one of these options?" I'll come to the options. What are options? So and then they will go the desk quant. They will price it for them. Quant researcher, again, it's a similar role, but mainly investment banking oriented. The quant developer, similar role, again, the sell side oriented. Okay, so let's go ahead. The investment bank is a kind of like they are beast. Beast in a sense, it's a very, very big teams, very big area, and loads of branches. Just they work integrate together. And the buy side is smaller, but they make a lot of money, and they can lose a lot of money. Okay. Now let's go to the sell side control. I think I have already explained it, so I won't go much detail into it. So desk quant, I told you, like they can price new financial product, over the counter options, cross strategies is a cross between trading and technology. They can implement risk models and build new tools and all. So that's sell side. Buy side, we have already mentioned, like quant trader monitoring. So they mainly execute the trading algorithms. Okay. So the quant researcher, so mainly like they are PhD, MSc in mathematical skills. That's what I did, mainly MS. And a lot of doctorates are there. They are well sought after. So now coming to the algorithmic trading. So what is algorithmic? So you can say algorithmic trading is a branch of quantitative trading, really. So it's a subset where you have a model, you determine when to execute and without human interaction. So it's a kind of like you are automating your thoughts of when to buy and when to sell. Okay. So exactly the example I gave you just now, when the market is moving, say US is moving, and then you buy a Japan or not, suppose it goes hunky-dory, everything works, then you will automate it. That's where algorithmic trading comes in. So these are different examples. I won't go deep into it. Just simply, you can say this particular example is about currency management. When to buy a particular currency and when to sell the other one, and how you will automate it. This is what I was doing in Millennium Global. And then comes the high frequency trading. This is, you can say, this is where the technology shines into finance. Here we are actually talking about nano and picoseconds. So in winter flood securities, it was a market maker, and you are literally it wasn't a high frequency trading. When high frequency trading comes in, you literally executing the trade in sub milliseconds. No, sub millisecond is a latency, which is slow. We are talking about nanosecond. You are working actually on the caches which are sitting on the CPU. So you can just imagine. But what's happening over the year, last decade, the systems have gone so fast that high frequency trading is losing its edge. It's not. It's just. I can see it's a very arguable statement. But HFTs are prevalent, but it's very difficult to make money these days in this. And you need very sophisticated infrastructure, and literally, if you have an edge, all the quant desks which are sitting around over the world, and the opportunity will go within the milliseconds. Okay, so then comes the statistics and programming. So these are part of both algo trading, all of these except HFTs. Now we will come to the latency that I talked about. We are talking about nanosecond and latency, how it impacts. You can say latency is, I think it's, it's there. I'll move this slide near the HFT really. So, yeah. Where has it gone? Yeah, it's here. So we were talking about, so the latency in high frequency trading. So you suppose, I'll give you an example. Suppose you buy a stock and its price is say 100 rupees. And the moment it executes in the market, the price has moved to say 100 rupees and say 50 paisa. So ultimately you are losing that money. So if it is a small amount, you will not notice. But think about from the investment bank point of view, or a hedge fund point of view, or a very big investor who is buying stocks in very large quantity. That 50 paisa can be a big amount. Okay, so that is where the latency comes in picture. So all these high frequency trading businesses, they actually sit just next to the exchange so that they have the minimum latency. They will have the broadband bandwidth in GBs, okay, so that they can reduce the latency. So there are different measures there. Technology, as much as or they can optimize, they optimize it. And on top of it, they go very near to the exchange so that they can reduce the latency, because ultimately they want to have an edge when it comes to their competitors. That is how the latency makes a very big difference. Now, ultra low latency, like nanosecond we are talking about, that's ultra low. And there are regulatory requirements actually, especially in UK, we called MiFID. And you need to report your trades. Like when you report a trade, so suppose you have done execution. Execution means your broker has done sell or buy. They need to report to the regulator within the milliseconds. That was around 6-7 years ago. That was the norm. I implemented that system for winter flood. So you need to do it in milliseconds, and you need to report it. What was the actual millisecond when the trade was done from the winter flood side? Okay, so that is how niche you are going on the execution level. So that is what the latency comes into the picture. And actually, this used to happen. There will be a query from a trader coming in, say, he will say, Ajay, we had this stock. The Bloomberg Bloomberg is a company which provides their terminal to the traders, and this is considered as a benchmark that they are ultra low latency, and they will have a price. And but the similar like SBI was taking that trader did in 100, but it was executed 150 paisa, and the trader will say, oh, why we have a difference? I need to answer this to the client when they said I need to execute the order on 100. Why has it been executed on 150? Who will take the loss or benefit of that 50 paisa? So these are the kind of questions that used to come on the trade floor. Yeah. And then you need to answer why this latency is there. Was it because of us, or was it because of one of the third party providers? So you need to find out all these technological answers. And mostly it happens. It could be the technology. It could be one of the database transaction which was slow. It could be the volume. Yeah. So, and suppose the market is under a crash, or in a crash, I would say, or it's running high and you have loads and loads of trades coming in, the system can be slow. It's quite possible. So all these big clients, they cater for all these situations. And so let's go to the derivative pricing. It's a complex topic, means loads of you might be aware of F&O in the market, and so options and derivatives, and it's a big part of finance. So the derivatives is a contract which actually generates its prime price from the underlying. Yeah. So in a sense, like if you have got an option, it gives you um, right, but not an obligation to buy or sell an asset on a particular fixed price in the future. So it's a kind of like hedge, I would say. So the derivative pricing, and it's mainly used for hedging. So if the client, if there is a hedge fund or firm, they have got a very big portfolio, and they want to make sure that their profit, they are in a profit, and or they are in a loss. Suppose they have a short position, they want to hedge it. They want to make sure that they don't get a very big hit because the market moves in opposite direction. So they will hedge it. So that is where the derivative pricing comes in. So it's a very big topic, and you can say it's a backbone of the, not backbone, but it's a very big chunk of the quantitative finance. Now, in the quantitative finance, another one is the model validation and risk management. Suppose you design a strategy, like we were talking about a case study about the US market, Japan market, or say Indian market. So you need to validate it. Is it really working? Is it making money? How you will do it? You will run it based on the data you have got. Say you run it on 30 years worth of data. It will give you a very good indication of is it going to work in the future. Okay. We always say past performance is not a measure of the future, but actually that gives a very good indication of whether you can back test it or not. Back testing is a very big part that comes under model validation and risk management. So this is another part of the quantitative finance. Let's go to how to become a quant trader or quantitative finance. Literally, you need basic mathematics as to start with. Then you need, it's a mix of mathematics, good mathematics, stats, and economics. These are the three subjects you need to have a very good basic understanding of it. Plus, you need to technology is a very big part. I think technology is very big in India, and it's an integral part of it. So you need a bunch of skills together to be successful into the quantitative finance or the trading. Yeah. Now, the soft skill, where does it come into picture? Because the quant traders, like if you are on the front office, it's a very busy place. So 8 o'clock, like I have been on the trade floor myself, 8 o'clock market starts, 4:30 market closes. I'm telling you about the London timings. And your day will start, whether you are a technologist, whether you are a quant, your day will start like 7 o'clock in the morning. And the traders actually come 6:30 in the morning. And they will stay until 5 o'clock. 4:30 market close, they will close their books, do the P&L, and P&L means profit and loss, and 5 o'clock they will go home. So 5 days, 6:30 to 5 o'clock, it's a very busy time, especially from 8 o'clock to 4:30 is the busiest. And so the front office is the very high pressure. And you can imagine if the trading system that you have developed, a trader can't execute it, they are sitting duck, they are losing money. Yeah. So these are the kind of situation that comes in. So you need to have a bunch of skills to deal with these kind of situation. And it's not only technology, it's not only finance. You need to have those skills about how you will communicate in the high pressure environment, how you will deal with the different unknown scenarios. Yeah. A trader is screaming like he can't trade, but then how you will deal with that. So these are the situation that happens now. And then in these kind of situation you need to have a post op, we call post op, or the war room, like post operation. Like if this thing has happened, you have dealt with it, what you will do to make sure it doesn't happen again, and what are the different strategies you will take to make sure that it's better communicated, or you can deal with that situation better. Okay. You need to be, especially when there are market events, that is where these things come into picture. Consider it like a ship, and ship is sailing. If there is a storm coming in, whether you can sail, or if there are bolts, different bolts that are losing up and around at that time. So like in London, you can say different is like Brexit. One of them, very big event. And another one was like elections. Elections are another one. So similarly in US and similarly in India, if the government changes, you can see where the market goes up and down. So these are different events, and your system need to perform to the max. And different trading strategies like mean reversion. Mean reversion is a very big chunk of strategies. What does it mean? If a stock is flying or going down, it will revert to its mean price into the future. It's like you have a dice, yeah, and you flick through the dice. So it has got total 6 outcome, 1 to 6. And if you keep on doing it, if you have a large sample, if you take the average of it, it will converge to the mean of 1 plus 2 plus up to 6. Yeah. So that's in mathematics, it is called central limit theorem. It's a very big concept, a very, you can say, important concept, and the mean reversion is based on that. So if you have a very, very, very big, large sample, the sample mean will converge to the population mean. It's a mathematical definition. So based on financial theory, they will revert to the, so there are lots of strategies based on this. If you Google it, you will know what it means. Similarly, like pair trading, you do pair trading, you find highly correlated assets. Like, I gave you the example, the US market and the Japanese market. So that's a kind of like pair. They are going into the pair. But you need to see these are both the markets. They are similar asset. But what you can do, you can find different asset. Like I give you the gold and inflation. So if the inflation is like gold and inflation, they go together. They are very highly correlated. Gold is considered as a hedge against inflation. Okay. So you can find the relation. I think similarly, like the stock market. So it's the, you can say, is the part and parcel of the quant research. You find the correlation is the key there. You find the relation, and if you can find two uncorrelated asset that can produce an alpha, alpha means that can produce a returns brilliant, but it's quite difficult to find those. So like these are different strategies. Is just a red line is the GBP graph, and then euro. You look at the, you can see, you know, it's technical analysis really. So automating that technical analysis, finding the alpha from that. So different other quantitative strategies like sentimental analysis. This is like, if I'll just give you an example. Suppose you have Twitter. It's not called Twitter. It's called X now. So if you can see you have 100 Twitter accounts. What is it? Is it accounts? Sorry, I'm not on social media. But if you have 100 or say 1,000, I'm just giving you an example. 1,000 very top voices in finance, which are credible. And you can see from their tweets, you can find out what's the tone. Yeah, this is where the machine learning and AI come into the picture. You can find that, use NLP, you can find what's the tone. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Based on that tone in that particular market, if you can generate a signal, whether it's bullish or bearish, you have a signal. And then you will have, this is quant researcher, then you have a model validation quant who can actually validate it based on that bullish or based on that bearish signal. How was actually that particular asset that you want to buy or sell was actually performing? So you have a signal, you can backtest it, and you can have a strategy that can make money for you. Okay, this is just an example. Then comes the market making. So this is where I spent a lot of time. So it was about the best bid and offer. So I was mainly on the electronic trading side here. So what is a market maker? It's in a sense you can say it's your broker. In UK, I don't know if it is there in India or not, but in UK, what happens when, if I have my account and I go to my broker, similar like Demat account, which is say Zerodha for you. For I go to my broker and I say I want to buy say SBI in India, or here I say Lloyd's Bank. I want to buy. What they will do, they will spread a quote into the electronically quote into the market. Market means they will be connecting to the different market makers. Every market maker will give them a price of Lloyd's or SBI. Whoever gives the best price, they will win that quote. So that is where the market maker comes into the picture. Not every broker like Zerodha will have, but similarly, every broker has a connection to the exchange, like National Stock Exchange or BSE. They will have a connection to the intermediary, which are called market maker. And these market maker is the one that will execute the trade against those brokers. So it's a very interesting topic, and this is where the algo trading comes into picture. That's it, I think. Let's go to the more trading strategies. What is arbitrage? Arbitrage is, say, I'll give you a commodities example, oil. Yeah, the entire world is big chunk of the finance is driven by oil. Okay, so you can have a contract. Contract means a derivative. What is contract? Contract is, you know, we touched upon the derivative. Derivative actually comes into, I would say, two categories. One is the forward contract and future contract into commodities. And when it comes to the liquid finance, which is equities market, not the hard like commodities, that's options. So in the commodities, in oil, you can have a contract which is selling in US on a different price than which is into Europe. So you can take advantage between the difference. That is called arbitrage. Yeah, you simultaneously buy and sell into different markets. Okay, and you make money based on that. But today HFTs and all these are so clever, and the system have gone so good that finding the arbitrage is very difficult, because ultimately arbitrage means you are buying one place, selling another. It's a kind of like short money. But these go within milliseconds. So that is where HFTs come into picture. So statistical, you have mean reversing models, triangular, the one example I was giving you. So these are different kind of arbitrage strategies. Then comes pros and cons. Quantitative finance, in a sense, it's you can say there is I wouldn't say it's no human involvement. There is human involvement, but it's limited as compared to the traditional. It's a complex system. You can say if it has been optimized, so it's very difficult to find very good strategies. And you can actually make it more complex. You can try to say, oh, it's making money, it's going all up and up and up. And then you realize, oh, it was actually overfitting, or we missed this particular parameter. Because of this, it was showing all the returns. If you see a graph like this is a real graph, but I'm telling you about the strategy. If your strategy keeps on going up and up and up and up, 99% it's a fake. It's you are missing a parameter. It's overfitting. So overfitting is a big drawback, and you need to find out. You need to really backtest it. Another example: when you create a strategy, you look into how many good days were there when it made money, and how many bad days were there. Yeah, that's another parameter. Next, you need to look at into these all are part of the backtesting and model validation. You need to look at actually if you are executing a strategy, how much it is fluctuating from their mean. In a sense, is it fluctuating by 20% or is it fluctuating by 5%? How does it compare with another strategy? It's much better to have 5% return than a 10% return if your volatility is too high. Yeah. So you need consistent returns. Now, machine learning, I have told you few case studies where it can be used. It's especially on the data analysis, it's quite prevalent. You can have prompt engineering, you can do a lot. And I have not touched upon some parts of machine learning where unsupervised and supervised that come into picture, because I have seen them. It's linear regression is a very big part of it, but I would say that it's been a long time I've looked into it. I've worked on them, but I wouldn't go into detail because it's a whole span, a different span of it. So next is these are academic, like this is academic. I think you guys are more expert or more on the, or you can say touch side than me on this. That's it from me. And if you have any query, just let me know. I think we still have good half an hour. Yeah, just let me know if you have any queries, and I'm happy to answer those. And if you know the real case studies, real example, I can go through some of them. How mainly if you want to know how the stock market technologically work in the background, because I've spent a lot of time, we can go through it. And yeah, just fire on any queries. If we have time, I'll go through my experience on that. But I'll give it a pause, and you let me know. Let me know if anyone has any queries. Normally, there is a website which is called Slido for these kind of sessions. So what happens in Slido is you can have a because I can see there are loads of participants. You can put your question and many people have same question. They can just do thumbs up. That comes on the top, and I can just pick up from there. But that's fine. That's how we run. Because in the bank we have seminars like these, and it's worth having these. But here I can see, if you have any query, just write down, and I can pick up one by one and try to answer them. Okay? Does it make sense?
Again, so if participants have any query, they may raise their hand.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to talk, it's perfectly fine. If you don't want to, just feel free. If you don't want to talk, you want to chat, just send me the question and I'll pick up. So whichever way you want. Okay. I'll stop sharing so that yeah, we can see face to face. One sec. I can't see.
I probably
Why?
feel, I mean, if you're talking about this particular
Oh
topic, I
yes,
mean,
yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, here.
So if you're talking about this particular topic, it may be, I mean, in most of those who are from the IT background may not find it in touch, I mean, indirectly in relation with the things. But
Actually,
practically, right.
sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Technologically, I didn't touch upon it, but it's because you can just carry on going into a sinkhole, really. Because technologically, when briefly I said, how does the stock market works? That technology wise, what I can do, I can find, I might have it. I can find one of the diagram I did long time ago, and I can go through it, which briefly touches on technology, what technologies involved uh, in the background, and what are different components and how they work together.
Yeah,
So that
that
might
would
be
fine probably,
useful.
right.
Okay, one sec. Let me find it. It was mainly on the algo trading side. I might have it.
I mean, if you have had a poll on it, that probably there would be many who are saying it is not our cup of tea. So probably it is insightful
Well,
session in terms of getting the knowledge and all those things.
it might not be your cup of tea, but it might become a cup of tea if
Yes,
you
yes,
look
definitely. I
into. No,
mean,
no, no. I'm no. Let me give you an example. It might become cup of tea if you Google it, what it is, and just see the kind of career options it has got. So just try it. One sec. Let me. I'll go sketch. Yeah. Okay. So I have got a PowerPoint that I created a long time ago. Is actually, again, it's a little bit more technical, but yeah, one sec. Okay, I'll share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
yes, yes, very
Okay.
much.
Okay. So this is mainly from the technology point of view, how the electronic trading or the market making works in the background. In a sense, the example I was giving, if when you buy or sell a stock, what happens in the background. Yeah, how you get a particular execution into your portfolio or your account. Yeah, so what will happen? Um, you when you will open an account, say with Zerodha. Yeah, what has Zerodha got from the technology point of view in their system? Um, so in a sense, first they need to have the capability so that they can provide an interface to the client to trade, which is client is you. Yeah. So there are a bunch of technologies come into picture over there. So when it comes, so you will have a web interface or a desktop interface. Yeah. So the web interface, when it comes, it will have different technologies they can develop that interface in. So the mainly in the market, it's mainly the Node.js, which is quite prevalent these days, and the React is coming up. React is a lot used a lot in that from the technology wise, and on the back end, like now, so in a say that is the front end technology. Yeah, now you will have a ability to buy or sell stock. So in a sense, you will give the quantity, and when you submit a trade, your front end need to have the ability to give you a price. That is what the Zerodha will provide. So how they will communicate in the background? So on the technology side, it all comes to the microservice architecture or different web-based REST API architecture and all. So I won't go deep into it, but just think about it. You submit a button through the API or services, a call goes to Zerodha. Yeah, they provide you a price. But what is Zerodha doing functionally? Zerodha will take your request and they will send it to either the exchange or they will send it to the third party they are getting their prices from. Yeah. Now, how they communicate? So the data ingestion is done via, in finance, is done via a particular protocol, which is called fixed protocol. Fixed protocol is it's a so that's okay. Let me go. So fixed protocol. Yeah. So what is fixed protocol is this one. So this is a protocol by which we exchange information, financial information into the investment banking. Where does the technology come into picture? Now, you need a particular technology to, not particular, you need a technology to implement that solution. So what happens? The exchange will provide their, you can say, a PDF, or we call the connectivity guide. And that connectivity guide will say, we communicate to a particular entity via fixed protocol. So in the financial market, most of the development in fixed protocol is either done in C++ or Java. And the reason why it is done is mainly because of the speed. Because when you are getting these prices, the latency come into picture. To minimize that latency, the C++ and Java is the best. That is where it comes in. So the most of, you can say, the um, data side, that is mainly developed in fixed protocol. Okay, the connectivity, we say there is a term called feed handler developers. So the feed handler is a term in this electronic trading, which means you are ingesting the data, real-time data. So the real-time data developers. So it's mainly Java and C++. Python is, I wouldn't say, especially for this, because you need speed, you need execution. Python is not a lot, but it's making inroad because it's easier than these two languages. So that is on the ingestion side. So now you have logged in, means the Zerodha has gone to an exchange or third party using the FIX protocol, using those technologies, it has got the price. Okay. It has given you the price based on your web interface, which was using these different technologies. Okay. Now, it has got it. But when you say, okay, I'm ready to buy this stock, again, the communication will happen via REST API or Node.js or whichever technology. What Zerodha will do, they will say, oh, actually, I have got this price. I need to buy this stock for my client. Okay. So what they will do, Zerodha will have its own book for, say, SBI is one stock. Yeah. So the mainly, the in stock market, you have different sectors and segments. So you will have, say, 100 most valuable companies. They will have one book for it. And that is called main book, where the main trading happens. You will have back office books as well, managed order books. So there are different books. So Zerodha will say, I have this client who want to buy SBI, but I already have got that quantity in my own book. So what I'll do, I'll trade off against my book. So how you will manage all these books? You will have the database technologies. You will have a cache. Now the prices we are talking about, we have talked about the communication, but you need to have a cache that holds all these latest price information. That cache is actually like technology wise, it's Redis. Redis is one of them, or you can have your own memory map, or the tag value pair within the memory, which is sitting just on the RAM. Yeah, so that you don't have a latency. Now, so this is the technology for the pricer. We called it a pricer, which has got all the info. And also there is another technology in the middle, which is communicating between all these different components within the trading system. This whole thing on the Zerodha is called trading system. And that communication you can have, you called middleware. So you can, for the inter-process communication, you use middleware. So for middleware, you have different technologies. The Java itself provide JMS, or you can have Kafka streams, and you can have from Red Hat, which is Artemis AMQ, which was a big chunk of my work because I replaced the entire layer of the messaging layer in Winterflood Securities. So yeah, that's very another technology. So you need to have very high performance. Latency is the key. You need to have as less latency as possible. Now we talked about pricer, we talked about inter-process communication, we talked about the front end. We talked about the communication between the exchange and the trading system. Now comes to the database. Now the pricer, they say, the Zerodha say, I need to buy this. I can cross it against my own book. I can say, yeah, this client can buy SBI from me. What they will need to do, they will need to, in the database, they need to have a record, your contract, which say transaction has been done. So in the you need to have a very, very high performance database for this, where you will say this particular transaction has happened. I have crossed it against my own book. And now think about it. If they don't have SBI into their book, they need to buy it from someone else. So they will go to the exchange, which is called the dealing. Yeah. And if they do it against their own book, that is called the back book trading of exchange trading. You are not doing on exchange, you are doing against you. So you will have a very high performance database. You will save this trade. Now you need to report this trade to the exchange. Like, oh, actually, I have sold these many shares of SBI to this particular client. Yeah. So that all communication is happening via FIX. Now on the database side, again, you can have different kind of databases. So that is where this 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 thing was coming into picture. Slide share. So you can have a database provider. This is I was doing for one of the project for winter flood when I did this flow chart. Like, you find a data provider first. If you want to create a trading system, how you will do it? So that's where the technology come into picture. You will find a data provider. Who's the data provider for you? So there are different companies that provide financial data, like Morningstar is very well reputed name. There are IDC. IDC is another one. Bloomberg is another one. So these, and they have all the technology APIs built for them to consume the data. And these API, you can have Python one, you can have Java, you can have C++, whatever your system support. And they will have different protocol, FX, or you just want to do tag value pair, or you just want to have a socket level programming. So they provide loads of solutions. Yeah. So you will have a data provider, then you will have a data processing engine. What is data processing engine? This is called feed handling. Yeah. You get the data and you put it into a cache. Yeah. So DataDB, this is actually a cache. So this you can develop it via MongoDB, for example, or you can have a Redis cache which is sitting on RAM and you are literally using it. And you don't, sometimes you don't want to save those prices because they are changing within milliseconds. Yeah, like mainly this is true for currency trading. So then based on that data, you have in the middle one, you have the algo sitting in. That algo you backtest against that data, and based on that algo engine, you will have an engine that will communicate and generate a signal. And the technology wise, it's mainly the quants mainly use research. Quant researcher use Python a lot because it has got all the mature libraries. When it comes to speed, when it comes to consuming the very high performance data, is C++ and Java. But the market is again moving to Python. And when it comes to the database, it's coming to NoSQL. NoSQL is a big part when it comes to on-the-fly data or which is changing. So that's the technology-wise, and there are different architectures. So if you are looking into technology architecture, microservices is a big part. In the quantitative trading, I would say it's mainly finance and the research that comes into picture. And when it comes to option trading, mainly the derivatives, developing the trading system on the quant developer side, these different architecture comes in REST API and all. But when it comes to speed, the technology matters. It doesn't matter what kind of architecture you have. It becomes really complex because you have so many systems. I have not talked about the back office at all because in UK, you literally need to report who has actually done the execution and who was the decision maker of a particular trade. So you need to report it. So literally you are talking about the passport number or the identification that exchange want to know and report to the regulator, which is the Financial Conduct Authority. So that's another beast on itself. And there is a bunch of technologies involved in that, but that's back office. And it's a very good part of it. So I hope it gives an idea about technology. And yeah, that's it. That's it from me. Does it? I hope it makes sense.
Right. So if there are any other question from the participants.
Please feel free. So we still have good 15 minutes and yeah, so there is a one raised hand. Let me check. Please go on. Yeah.
Hello, sir. First of all, thank you for this very informative session.
Please call me Ajay. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, like, when we're using AI tools in finance, how can we keep the information safe and private?
Okay. So when we are using, okay, so actually you have touched upon a question that I'm dealing in the bank right now. So what happens when you are talking about AI, but keeping that information secure and only need to know basis, that's that's independent of AI actually. So what happens is in a bank, suppose a bank is giving a loan, a very big client comes in and they want to have a loan. They want to take a loan so that they can buy a particular security in the market. They buy a particular stock. Now, this, if you see, this is an insider information. Yeah, only
Right.
it need to be dealt with, need to know basis. So the banks or these company, they need to have the different policies. Uh, that information, they will need to have a different information barriers. So there are different posts within the banks and these investment companies, which is called like one of them is CISO, Security Information Officer, which actually look at on the technology side. But there is also another job which is called BISO, BISO. So literally I have a meeting after 2 hours with CISO and BISO about exactly similar kind of problem. So BISO is Business Information Security Officer. So what happens in the bank? Any kind of information in any system you save, you need to have for every employee, you need to have a classification, what kind of data they can access. Like in a bank, you can say a particular, it's a say you are working in, I won't give an example of my bank because I don't want to. Say you are in Kotak, so you can have a Kotak uh, private information, strictly confidential, or client private. So these are different classification. You can see now we are going on a granular level. So these are different classification. Now you need to see the data that you are ingesting. Where does it fall? Does it have a client financial information in it? So it need to be in the client private. Who can have access to it? Only the people who are dealing with the client trade or those. A person sitting dealing with the technology doesn't need to have access to that information. They may be. They may be if they are working on that system. So their classification need to change to the client private, and they might need to sit within a team, not in their team. So these are the different scenarios the banks take. So it's a actually it is a very the first question, but very very important, and because the banks actually can get hefty fines if they don't deal with the information properly. Actually, they have in the past. If you just Google it, um, it has happened, and the banks and all these all through the industry, we have compliance trainings every quarter, almost like 25 of them. They keep on renewing, explaining the different kind of compliance regulations that we need to follow, and information security is one of them. I hope it helps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Any more queries? Please feel free to ask. And also, not only to this PowerPoint, if you have any query regarding, it's a very good field, very interesting field. And if you have inclination towards mathematics and finance, it's worth looking into it, and it's very rewarding as well. So and if I can see if 158 people, so there are loads of students in it. So yeah, go on. I can definitely help. So there is someone raised a hand. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Dr. Neerja Sharma. I done my PhD in finance, and right now I was supposed to, as per NEP, to teach financial derivative next year. Could you please
Financial,
guide us?
sorry, what was it?
Derivatives.
Financial
Derivatives.
derivatives. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, yes. Have
Yeah.
some ideas about trading view and all. So I'm just Google it and searching about it because few things I had done. So could you please help me or suggest some sites or something else so that it will be helpful for me to explain them in detail?
Okay, I think let's bring in AI and
See, I am from management
yeah.
background basically, and this is a new upcoming knowledgeable subject which helps my students to understand it because it is a science. I think stock market is a kind of a science. It is not something else of gambling and all because many people have misconception what I prefer about it. So that's why I'm asking
It's
this question.
definitely it's quantitative finance. It's all you can say. It's a mix of
Yes.
technology plus mathematics. So I would say the Gemini or
Yes, yes.
ChatGPT, use it.
Yes,
Any
sir.
queries, use it. Keep on delving into it. Um, I would have gone to traditional ways to tell you that you can use books and all. Definitely, that is how I did when I did my postgrad. But now, like you are saying, it's a new subject that you want to use. So use ChatGPT. Ask a lot of questions. It's really, really good to give you. And the internet is a minefield. You ask one question, you keep on jumping on the other one. But if you keep your prompt specific, you will get uh, the the exact answer. So that is one part. Another part is go to Udemy, yeah, for the derivative course. Take one, and
Okay.
like, or I would say go to Coursera, which has got the different goals. With the Udemy, well, it's my personal thing. I have found like you start one, but you never finish. That's my means. It doesn't work. Coursera really worked for me for few courses, and so you have weekly goal, and then you can develop your knowledge. Uh, so that's a more traditional way. Yeah. So I would say go for introductory course into the derivative finance on, yeah, Coursera or one of these platforms.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any more queries? Anything from students?
All our faculty members here. I mean, no
Oh,
student.
okay.
So,
Oh, there are no students. I thought like, so there are 156 faculty members.
yeah, they all are faculty
Okay,
members.
okay. Sorry. I didn't know about that. Sorry. So yeah, please feel free. Um,
So I guess, I mean, this particular session is actually giving insight that they can think beyond the literal way of doing the things. I mean, probably those on a technical field, they understand that time series statistics are actually being used. A lot of that is being used in making these
well,
prediction.
that's true. Actually, I have not touched on econometrics at all. This time series data, that's a big part of quantitative finance. But like it's a minefield. We can carry on talking about it, but if we go in a structured way, I have touched upon the entire you can say the finance sector briefly, yeah, and yeah, just want to say one thing. When we have a perception and we want to buy a security, any security, like Indian market is different because it's in a bull run, so everyone can be a guru, but you need to think, the whoever is actually selling you or buying a stock against you, they have a very big short sitting against, and they spend the lot of money to build those systems. So just mere buying or selling based on a perception that this will go up and down is a recipe for trouble.
I have a very layman type question. I mean, though probably it may not
Yeah,
be
please
very
go
much
on.
suited.
It's not.
So if we look at the general perception of purchasing or buying. So what is the one factor one should look at? I mean, because we know Google is not going to help in any ways, right? And that, like you said, that in India you have every nook and corner you have one guru, so predict you that you go for this or that, or this is something like that. But if somebody who has to actually think over it, that what could be the reason to make a decision, that what it could be?
I think to make a decision whether you need to buy a stock or sell a stock, a lot of it happens on speculation at present. Yeah. So if you can start thinking from a point of view of a trading system house, that might help. For example, if you want to buy a stock, then you look at how costly it is based on the data. Yeah. Based on the data, how costly, and you start delving into it, start looking into the data side, that looking into their balance sheet. Yeah. So I'm going deep into the slowly into the data. So that might help uh, avoid these problems. So uh, looking into the different ratios, PE ratios, how asset has done in the past, that will avoid buying in based on just speculation. Yeah. And also have it's better to have expert on your side. So and there is no harm giving your money to an expert, like the mutual funds. It's they have any mutual fund, the people who manage those funds, they have nearly similar kind of experience like mine, 20-25 years, and they are managing those funds. And so you literally, you might pay 0.5% or 1% of the management fees, but you are getting a value of an experience of 25%. So and if you all want to look at literally who are very early in their age, within the bracket of 20-25, look into the compound interest. It's not fake. Someone told us as well when we were young at 2003, around 2004. I opened my Demat account around 2004 and used to trade at that time. But like, you can do trading here and there, but if you really are serious about creating a wealth, you need to think about systematic trading. Systematic trading means uh, have a chunk of 20 to 30 year, 10% going into a good value fund, keep on investing, and it's building up, and the compounding interest come into the picture. The compounding, the power of compounding is not fake. Your pension will tell you if it's because that is something you can't take out. And if it is in a good place, then it will grow. So makes sense. So yeah, that's my advice. So whoever is in early age bracket, start investing. Nothing can beat
So
it.
I mean, even we all, I mean, in the teaching fraternity over there, they can start now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Again, remember my disclaimer, it's all for education, nothing advice or anything, just for education. But else that everyone give advice, but people don't take it. Means even I don't take it without thinking. So it's a natural thing. But yeah, I think it's worth. I hope it was useful the entire session. Okay. Any more questions before we close off? I think we have 2 minutes. So
No, it's fine. I mean, it is indeed, I mean, a session which is out of the box in our mind. I mean, they ignited the things that they can think differently. Thank you very
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Mr.
Thank you
Kumar.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that illuminating presentation.
Yeah.
And with this, we conclude day 4 of the Faculty Development Program. Thank you, everyone, for the participation. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 5, where we'll explore more innovative applications of artificial intelligence. Have a great evening.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you, everyone.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, so attendance, yesterday's attendance is already being marked. So please check if any inconsistency you found, that you can raise your concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.